What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. I know I say that all the time, but if you are enjoying, please do drop a like. That way we can help other Planet Coaster enthusiasts discover this series a bit more easily. But today we're going to get started working on our new pirate-themed zone of Toogii Land. And right off the rip, you can probably tell I've decided to do things a bit differently out here. So rather than having just one big boardwalk, we're going to have more of a pirate island instead. And there are two reasons for that. The main reason being I didn't want to have just one big boring boardwalk. I think that's super lame. But also, I didn't want to have to build every single building up on stilts in the water. That kind of seems like it would be a big waste of time. So I think this will be a lot easier for us going forward, but also it's just going to look a heck of a lot better. So what we've got going on here is the same main entrance that we created in the previous episode, now with a much smaller but more decorative boardwalk. We've got this nice little fountain in here. I've already added some bins and benches. And then right yonder, yes, this is the same entrance as that side, just rotated 180 degrees. Even the rocks are the same. You know what? I probably shouldn't have even said anything, because half of you probably wouldn't have even noticed. Cat's out of the bag, I guess. But I personally really like the way that it looks, so we're going to keep it. What I haven't tested yet is to see if our guests will be able to navigate around the big fountain that we have in the middle of our new boardwalk. So, dang, they got West Side as a middle name? That's kind of tight, yo. I'm not even gonna lie, that is kind of rad. Let's fast forward so we don't have to waste a lot of time doing this. So both entrances have barriers. It does appear as though the guests will walk around the fountain. That's beautiful. So all I did with this was add more barriers. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to see them. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see like the fence posts from them. So I just have them kind of buried into the base of the fountain, so they're out of sight, but yet the guests won't walk through the thing. I didn't test it without them. I just kind of figured that not all the guests are the brightest stars in the sky, so there's a good chance they'd try to walk right through the dang thing. But looks like that checks out, so that's perfect. The first thing that we should work on today is probably going to be our first ride, I would think. So I'm planning on doing the Victory, an obvious choice for this area, but I want to put it backwards. And then I think I want to make a ring of large boulders, kind of like the same rock that we've been using for these entrances. I want to make a ring of those boulders around it, and then guests would have to basically walk over a small moat, right? These rides have to stop breaking down, dude. They have, at some point, it has to stop. We have 12,000 bucks in the back pocket, dude. We're not doing too bad. I thought, okay, now it's 11 and dropping. Anyways, a big ring of boulders around the thing, so the guests will have to walk around to the backside. I just think it's going to be a bit more scenic for them. You know, they're gonna have a little bit better view of the whole park. Okay, maybe not the whole park, but at least this side of the park, right? So I'm just going to place that down there for the time being. And then let's go ahead and change that path to, you know what? Let's change it to the pavers that we've got going on over here. I think that'll be a little bit better looking than the wood. You know, this is a boardwalk. Doesn't need to be wood. But now we're going to grab our terrain tool on just the flatten to foundation function. And we're going to bring this stretch of land right yonder. I'll make it look pretty at the end, don't you guys worry. And then back to paths. We're going to select this grid and just bring this path as close as we can get it to the Victory ride. I'm intentionally going to leave a gap in the path right here, and then we'll head back to the terrain tool. Now that we have that all figured out, we'll make this a little bit smaller, maybe 13 feet. And we've got to just recreate a moat going right in between those two paths. Doesn't have to be anything fancy for right now. We can come through and change it later. But I think that ought about do it. And then if we go back to our wood path here, or our boardwalk, I'm hopeful that if we turn on tunneling, it'll do good things for us. Doesn't look that bad. actually seems to be pretty decent. So there we go. There's our small little moat that the guests will have to cross over just to reach this ride. That way we can still sell the illusion, right, that this is a pirate island. Also, I should mention, the water's not going to be this square in the end. It's only that way right now, just so I can sort of visualize where the water needs to be, if that makes any sense. You know what? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just let me cook. All right, just let me cook.
1 hour later.
Hey, how long have I been out? Oh, also it's done? Well, it's not done, but we do have much better decoration now. The terrain is fixed around our little moat boardwalk. That doesn't look too dang bad. The joke there was that I can do this stuff in my sleep, which I can't. That actually did take me an hour just to place some rocks and some plants. But we're almost done. We're nearing the end of this project already, so all we have left to do now is we're just going to keep taking these big, massive tropical boulders, tropical rocks, and we're kind of going to follow the contour of this path all the way around and kind of make a mountain, but not really. So let me finish that, and then we'll test the ride out.
1 eternity later.
Okie dokie, ladies and gentlemen, the ride is now complete. Or I guess the ride's not complete. We still have to like go through it, test it out, make sure it performs well, and then we can open her up. But all the decoration around this ride is finally finished. If I stopped right now, this would probably be the shortest recording ever, but it's been 3 hours. We're going on 3 hours, so I've definitely not been doing nothing. It's just really difficult for me to show you guys building stuff like this, because if I try to time-lapse it with all the camera motion that happens, it just ends up making people nauseous, and it's not really very enjoyable to watch. So, I usually cut that stuff, and I probably cut it again. But this ride wasn't really meant to be a focal point of this new pirate-themed zone. However, since it's front and center and at the edge of this new zone, it kind of has become a focal point. But I'm not mad about that. Certainly not mad about it. So let me take you guys on a little tour real quick of the whole queue, basically. So right here will be the entrance. We've got a couple of different pirate animatronics out here. This guy has a bottle of rum. This lass over here also has a bottle of rum. That is not normally something that's in-game. That was definitely a Steam Workshop download. You guys already saw the pirate band, which is pretty dang sick. I'm tempted to make it trigger when the ride actually starts, but we'll see. We'll see about that. And like some cannons and stuff. There's a whole bunch. This was actually one of the easier rides to decorate just because of how many different scenery items are available that fit the pirate theme. So we've got the, what do they call this again? A gibbet. I thought that was called the gallows. Anyways, not super important. There's a little pirate shack, complete with another pirate animatronic right there. Tiki torches all the way around, because why the heck not? You know, I haven't actually looked at it at night. It's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. Probably should have put some torches over here as well. I still can. It was just easier to space them on this side because the railing was already there. But anyways, back to daytime. There's a little dinghy that's kind of washed up over here against the rocks. Bunch of palm trees, of course. Bunch of beech trees. This, according to the game, this is technically pirate themed. If I go to scenery here and we do more filters under scenery theme, just change that to pirates, all of this stuff is technically pirate themed. Wait, the plants aren't in here though. What the heck? Oh, it was tropical. It was tropical. It's okay. Never mind. I take that back. But it does still fit the theme, right? It's tropical. We've got a little pirate lookout animatronic just hanging out over here. I think, oh, there's the anchor up there. There should be, yeah, one more guy just chilling, sitting on some rocks, doing what he do. The cannons right now are timed to go off every 30 seconds. When they're just on a continuous loop, it's a bit excessive. So I kind of dialed that back, but again, we could, of course, you know, pair it to the ride and have it be triggered from the ride. There it goes. We've got another pirate just chilling over here. Here are some like big cargo things. There's fruit cargo as well. Just some extra decoration. This was the hard part for me because I didn't really know what to put in these areas. Other side has a big campfire. And as you exit the ride, you get to see the pirate's treasure, which I thought was pretty cool. Right as you enter, there's another pirate that's just kind of standing there, making sure you're not up to no good as you get on the ride. The ride itself, we can't really do much with it other than color it, which we haven't gotten around to yet. But by default, it's pretty dang good. The exit path, which I considered putting here instead and just having it dump you straight back onto here. Instead, we kept it going all the way around because symmetry. And my AC/DC would have probably killed me if I would have changed that around. There's another pirate chilling over here, another cannon, some munitions, and then we already saw the pirate lass. There's only one female pirate animatronic model, and it's her right here. But since we have the Studios pack now, there are a couple of different actions, I guess, that these pirates can do. So maybe for future areas, we look a little bit more deeper into that. But enough talking. We only have a prestige right now of 218, which if we kept it this way, it would be the worst ride in the entire park. So we're definitely not going to do that. Let's bump these numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. We're going to do 120. Full load, of course. Something that I didn't even think about was a priority pass. Entrance or exit. So that's a bit of an oopsie on my parts. We could maybe make one go underground, even though that's kind of super weird. Or we could like carve out a little space in the rocks. I don't know what I'm gonna do for that, but we'll come back to it. We will circle back. For right now, let's just focus on making the ride perform better than it does currently. So let's change that to high priority. Again, we'll circle back later. Every 30 minutes. Oh, we don't know what the reliability is just yet, so we'll hold off on that also. The only thing that we can do is just make the ride longer. So let's make it 2 sequences longer than it is. We'll test her out, and we'll see what our prestige is going to be after that. Anything is better than 218, or whatever the heck it was. 367. That is definitely better. Our duration is only 96 seconds, though, so let's actually add 2 more animation sequences. And once again, we'll test her out. We'll see how she does. Bonebreaker has just broke down, not a surprise there. We've had several breakdowns while I've been working on this. Guests think Dust Devil is too expensive. All right, I'm going to have to go through and change all the prices again for each ride. What do we got? What do we got? 378. It hardly improved. So let's take 1 off since we added 2. And we'll see, maybe that'll be as good as it gets. This time for sure. 376. That is as good as it gets. Yikes. But as we know, once we open the ride up and actual guests ride it, not these test dummies, the prestige could improve, potentially. This is probably one of those rides that we're just going to have to wait until it becomes a classic for it to actually make us any money whatsoever. But if we take 376 divided by 35, we'll get a ticket price of $10.74. So we'll set that up right quick. There we go. And now we can open her up. I'm going to take the 3 off of Victory. If you guys have a better name for this ride, let me know down in the comments. I can't think of anything off the rip here. I will work on the priority pass entrance and exits while we're waiting for some of our guests to make their way out here. You know, we're going to need a mechanic. We are going to need some employees for this new section. So let's hit play quick. Wait, we have 24,000 bucks? How the heck did that happen, dude? That's insane. Actually insane. We'll need a mechanic. For sure, for sure. We will need a janitor. We'll need a security guard. And just because... Wait. King Ghoster? That's kind of dope. We don't have a spooky themed zone in the park yet. So we have basically just Captain Lockjaw. That's going to be themed accordingly. So we'll drop him down also. Wait. Hang on just a second, guys. We got to get you set up. Otherwise, they're just going to wander on over into the other zones of the park. So this will be Pirate. And of course, the only ride that we have out here to put on the roster is this one. So we'll just chill with that for right now. Let's head into security guards. We're going to change him to be on the Pirate roster. Mechanics, same thing. The one at the bottom is going to be on the Pirate roster. Janitors, pirates. We're just making all of these people pirates. That's essentially what we're up to right now. There we are. Okay, now you should be just chilling over here, right? Perfect. That'll do. They don't currently have a staff resting facility either, so that is something that we'll probably have to look into in the future. I still don't know where I want a majority of the buildings to be. The island is an obvious choice. While I'm thinking about it, we should probably have at least one trash can at the ride's exit. That way, if people need to yak, they got a place to do it, and hopefully not on the floor. Check this out. We've got a couple of guests, not very many, but a couple of guests starting to make the very long journey out to the new ride. There's a couple more. Not bad, not bad. You know, we haven't even advertised the new spot yet. So let's do that. If we have our priority entrance here, I'm gonna have to get rid of this boulder and probably some other ones as well. I'll definitely have to slide a couple to the right there. Just trying to make enough space to where the guests can sneak on through there. And then same thing over here. We're gonna have to get rid of that big boulder. And I'll try to slide these larger ones around just a little bit. It almost pains me to have to do this just because of how long it took me to get all these boulders in position in the first place, but it's all right. You know what? It's all right. How cool is this, though? If you do have a priority pass, which it looks like these 3 people do, how cool is it that you get to just kind of like sneak through this massive pile of boulders surrounding the pirate ship? Okay, that was pretty quick and easy, honestly. There we go. Tried to get him as close to the front as I could. Just working with the constraints that I unfortunately set up for myself. But I think that'll work just fine. Oh, I forgot to go around and reprice all the rides. Let me do that real quick. All right, all of the prices have been adjusted accordingly. We're not going to have very many guests making their way out here just because, you know, we kind of only have one attraction. But this has me really, really excited for the future of this new zone. And unfortunately, that is where we're going to have to wind things down at for today. It's probably going to be a shorter episode. I know it is, but it's not because I didn't have enough time today. I spent 4 hours on one ride, which is a bit embarrassing. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. Help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.